that is where we start. Loving ourselves, hearing God's blessing for us. And with that blessing comes a giftedness, though we oftentimes don't think about it in that way. The giftedness of being given the law, the commandments. Oftentimes when we hear the word law, it is one of those things that makes us gulp, thinking about the places that we go over the speed limit, or perhaps run a very yellow light, or perhaps those places where we don't quite get it right in our lives, where we know we could have helped someone down the street, could have been a little bit better neighbor, could have not picked that fight with our spouse or partner. But here, what we are called to pay attention to is the giftedness of the law. That it is given to us to remind us of our relationality. First and foremost, to God, to the holy. This ground of our being, this one who breathes life into us. This one, this holy, endows us with an incredible gift that is about being in relationship. That we might lift our voices in song and prayer. That we might go to those quiet places of meditation, of wonder. That we might draw our breath, aware more fully of who we are created to be. And from that, there is the relationality to the people. To love our neighbor. To love our neighbor. This tends to be one of those tricky places. As we hear in the Gospels, the question is raised, well, who is the neighbor? And we are made aware that it's not just one person or one type of person, but it is each of us when we act out of the deepest and the best of intentions. When we reach out to those in need. When we draw close to those who are on the margins, on the sidelines. In Leviticus, we are told that that is the poor, the widows, the children, those who are suffering deep, deep need. Who's suffering today? I think there are a lot of children like Joellen and Wayne who go to our schools, who come to our churches, that try to get through life just being ignored because that's better than being picked on. And what happens when we are called to not let them be ignored, but to remind them of their blessing, of the gift that they are? When we are called to stand in solidarity. Now that's the individual level. And I'm going to come back to that. But I also know that there's a corporate level. Yesterday, Bill and I were watching a movie called Food Inc. Some of you have maybe seen that. But what has happened in our country is the way that there are now bullies. Bullies with Monsanto seed company or large packing plants that are abusing workers and family farmers. That they would all fall in line and do exactly what they are told. And if they don't, then they are bullied. They're out for the profit, which Leviticus speaks against. This sense of the greed, the need that people have. And we are called to counter that as people of faith. To speak out of a place of integrity where all people are valued, gifted, and known. what are we going to do here? First off, today are you going to hear those words? That you are loved? Are you going to hear them for you? Both here at the font, but also around the table. That you, each of you, are beloved children of God. And then secondly, are you going to hear that you are gifted? Gifted with an incredible command that is one of connecting with the holy, of being in relation with the holy, and then of stretching out our hands in service and in love to the neighbor. That's the place that for many of us gets us jazzed or excited. But we're called to do both. And I think that oftentimes we tend to miss out on one part. I love that Jesus said that the law and the command hang on these two. That there's an equality in them. That people, it's easy to spend so much time praising God that you miss out on serving others. Or it is very easy for churches or people to become kind of about social work. And to become so about serving people that you miss out or you forget why you're doing it. And this today calls us back to think about this balance, to center ourselves in this connection to God, this holiness, alongside this service to others. And that we stand in the middle, arms open, in gratitude, in thanks, and in service. Listening to the heartbeat of God that beats in each of us.